Anatomy is the study of internal structure of organism. A study of plant anatomy includes histology, study of organization and structure of tissues. Anatomy helps in knowing structural peculiarities of different groups of plants and indicates structural adaptation to diverse environments. The tissue. A group of cells having a common origin and usually performing common function are called tissues. Plant tissue, meristematic permanent tissue, meristematic tissue, apical meristem, intercalary and lateral meristem. Permanent tissue, simple and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Complex permanent tissue, xylem and phloem. Meristematic tissue is a simple tissue composed of group of similar and immature cells which can divide and form new cells. The meristem which occurs at tips of roots and shoots are called apical meristem. Intercalary meristem occurs between mature tissues, especially in grasses. Both apical meristems and intercalary meristems are primary meristems because they appear early in life of a plant and have to form the primary plant body. The meristem which occurs on the sides and takes part in increasing girth of the plants are called lateral meristem. Intrafascicular cambium in the primary lateral meristem, vascular cambium, cork cambium, or secondary meristem. The cells that have become structurally and functionally specialized and lose the ability to divide are called permanent tissue. Permanent tissues having all cells similar in structure and function are called simple permanent tissues, and those having different kinds of cells are called complex tissue. Parenchyma is a simple permanent tissue, living tissue which is made up of thin-walled isodimetric cells. Each cell encloses a large central vacuole and peripheral cytoplasm containing nucleus. They are found in non-woody and soft areas of stem, root, leaves, fruits, and flowers. They store the food and provide turgidity to softer parts of plant. Collenchyma consists of cells which are much thickened at corner due to cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. Oval, spherical, or polygonal, often contain chlorophyll. They provide mechanical support to the growing parts of plants like young stem. Sclerenchymas are supportive tissues having highly thick-walled cells with little or no protoplasm due to deposition of cellulose or lignin. They are of two types, fibers and sclerites. They provide mechanical support to mature plant organ to tolerate bending, shearing, compression, etc. Complex tissues. Xylem and phloem constitute complex tissues in plants and work together as a unit. Xylem, it conducts water or sap, is found deep in the plant, provides mechanical strength, is made up of vessels, tracheids, xylem fiber, and xylem parenchyma. Phloem conducts organic food, situated towards the outer side, has no mechanical functions, is made up of seed tube companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Primary xylem is of two types, proto and metaxylem. In the stem, protoxylem lies in center and metaxylem towards periphery. This type of primary xylem is called endarch. In roots, protoxylem lies in periphery and metaxylem lies towards the center. This type of primary xylem is called exarch. In gymnosperms, albuminous cells and sieve cells like sieve tube and companion cells. Tissue system epidermal, ground and vascular tissue system. Epidermal tissue system. It forms the outermost covering of whole plant body which consists of epidermal cells, stomata, epidermal appendages, trichomes and hairs. Epidermis is single-layered parenchymatous with waxy thick layers of cuticle to prevent water loss. Stomata is present in epidermis of leaves. It regulates the transpiration and gaseous exchange, and dicots stomata are bean-shaped, having two guts closing the stomatal pore. In monocots, stoma is dumbbell. Wood and autumn wood. Cambium is very active during the spring season, but less active during the winters. Hence, during spring, a large number of xylem elements are formed having wider vessels. During winter, less xylem elements are formed having narrow vessels. The wood formed during summer is called spring wood. Wood formed during winter is called autumn wood. Two kinds of wood appear as alternate concentric rings in transverse section of a trunk of a tree. These are called annual rings and provide information about age of the tree. Heartwood and sapwood. In all trees, greater part of secondary xylem is dark in color, hard and resistant to attacks by microorganisms and insects. This region is made of dead elements with highly lignified walls. This wood is called heartwood. The heartwood gives the mechanical support but doesn't conduct water. Peripheral part of secondary xylem is lightly colored. is known as sapwood. It helps in conduction of water and minerals. Cork cambium. Meristematic tissue which develops in the cortex region is called cork cambium or phallogen. The phallogen cuts off cells on both sides. Outer cells differentiate to form cork or phallum white, while the inner cells differentiate into secondary cortex or phalloderm. Phallogen, phallum, and phalloderm are collectively called periderm. Due to the activity of cork cambium, pressure builds upon the remaining layers peripheral to phallogen. These layers gradually die and fall off. Lenticels. At certain regions, the phallogen cuts off closely arranged parenchymatous cells on the outer side instead of cork cells. These parenchymatous cells soon rupture the epidermis, forming a lens-shaped openings called lenticels. Lenticels permit the exchange of gases between the outer atmosphere and the internal tissue of the stem. Secondary growth in roots. Vascular cambium of the dicot root originate from tissue located just below the phloem bundles. A portion of pericycle tissue present above the protoxylem forms a continuous wavy ring. It gradually becomes circular. Rest of the steps are similar as in dicot stem. Secondary growth takes place in the stems and roots of gymnosperms. No secondary growth occurs in monocots. Done.